cold, hard and very industrial, very utilitarian feel from this watch, because it's the first words that came to my mind as soon as I opened the parcel. I've not reviewed an RZE watch on the channel for a while. I'm not really a 36mm case diameter watch guy, and a lot of you guys know that, but it's been an experience where I think, you know what, I could almost get away with living with a watch like this. I do like something a little bit bigger, but it's not too bad. It's close. This watch to me is screaming tool, but also super cool. A super cool tool, for a better word. You know what, that's not bad. Super cool tool. I might have to patent that. It's been a really comfortable watch with the physical dimensions of 36mm. It hasn't looked too out of place on my wrist throughout the week, and there are probably about 2, maybe 3 small niggles that I have found, technical stuff that could offer room for improvement. The rest of the watch has been great. Now, you saw the pop-up. RZE has sponsored this video, so I will of course leave all the appropriate links in the description section. If you're keen on this particular watch, by all means feel free to check them out. Now, the hero of this particular watch is that dial. I love the way that blue color plays in different textures with different light. There are obviously a variety of colors on their website of this particular model, but for me personally, this ice blue color suits that titanium tone case and bracelet to an absolute T. I think, as I mentioned, it's very utilitarian, very toolish. It looks and feels hard, and yet it's got enough subtleness in its color tone to draw your eye in. I think in that department it's really well done. Now, looking at the physical dimensions of this watch, I measure a case diameter of 36 with a case height of exactly 10. The lug to lug is 42.3 and a lug width of 20. That crown is a 6.2mm signed screw down crown. The watch offers 100 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the supplied titanium bracelet sized to my 18cm wrist, I measure exactly 93 grams. Now, 93 grams on the bracelet is very good in anyone's book. This has been a real easy wear on the wrist. The footprint at 36mm is not overbearing by any means, and the specs say that the height is 9.5. I actually measure 10mm on this particular watch, but alongside the taper from 20 to 16 on that bracelet, the comfort's been very, very good. And looking closely at that bracelet, you've got quick release end links, very good articulation with those link sizes. It's got screw pins, as well as a toolless on the fly adjustable clasp. And the entire case, bracelet and clasp system is obviously made out of titanium, and it features RZE's Ultra Hex 1200 Vickers hardness coating. So for a proper rugged lifestyle watch, I think this is built very well, but it's also a pretty one at that. Now, if I turn the watch over, you'll notice there's a solid case back, again utilitarian, and hiding behind that case back is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement. Proper no date, beating at 4 Hz, stop seconds, hand winding, and this particular one has been running well within spec. Now, as with most RZE watches, they feature a flat sapphire crystal with copious amounts of anti-reflective coating. This one here is not skimping in that area by any means. I think that's one area where RZE seems to get the crystals right. Again, here they seem to have got it right. And looking through that crystal at that dial, you notice the indices and the handset has got Swiss superluminova, and dimming down the lights, the application is nice and even. However, for me, I think the handset seems to last that little bit longer than the indices, mainly because of the amount of physical lume that you can actually put on each of those elements. Now, lastly, before I get onto gripes or room for improvement, the price of this watch comes in at 1,100 Australian dollars. That's around 680 USD, and I think for a titanium watch, hardness coating, nice and thin, beautiful dial, that is a reasonable asking price. Because moving on to the gripes and room for improvement section, there's really not much to complain here about this particular watch. If I have to be critical, there's probably 2 areas, maybe more lume. I know that it's a 36mm dial, so there's not much lume that you can actually put on those indices because of their physical size. It is, after all, a slightly dressier looking tool watch, so even with that amount of lume that's on this watch, I really should have complained for that sort of genre. But if I have to be a little bit more critical, turning the watch over, those spring bars, those quick release spring bars, they do protrude slightly, so that might be an area where you might feel them dig into the top of your wrist. There's always a quick fix. Remove those spring bars and put a standard spring bar in there. Whatever the case, you can either swap it out for straps and so forth, but just putting it out there for you guys, that might present an issue to some risks, but the majority of people might not even realize. And my last observation or critique of this watch, I usually feel watches. I put my fingers around them to feel everything lines up, and on this particular one, the actual end links on the bottom side of the watch, there's a little bit of a I won't say it catches, you can feel that it doesn't line up perfectly to the actual case. The one on the top is perfect, it's bang on. The one on the bottom, it's just on one side, it's just that little bit, 1/4 of a millimeter out. It might be just a small tolerance oversight in that bracelet because the other side is perfect, but just mentioning it for you guys nonetheless. That's pretty much been it as far as gripes or room for improvement go with this watch, because everything else, from that toolless on the fly adjustable clasp, the taper on that bracelet, the comfort, the look on that dial has been absolutely sublime, very playful and enjoyable with the different textures and tones, especially in different lighting scenarios. So I think for me, I enjoy RZE's ethos. They make watches that are built to last, and this one here seems to offer that little bit of everyday elegance, whilst at the same time giving you the reassurance of a tough, well-built watch. So hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think of this particular model. For the smaller wrist, I think you're going to love this watch. RZE seems to have offered something a little bit more than just your standard tool-specific field style watch. And I think the elements here, especially on this blue one, they seem to have just married up really nicely. So be well, continue to enjoy this hobby and the watches that come through your hands, and always do your research before spending any money, because this hobby can get out of hand and really quickly. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.